Welcome everybody to Jack Does Horror. I'm Jack, and in today's video I am going over the top 10 best Christmas horror movies of all time. In our attempt here at Jack Does to make sure your holidays are that much better. Now in last episode we gave you some specifics, such as the Die Hard rule and movie recommendations off of that, and also an actual movie recommendation that, well, obviously makes it on this list. If you haven't checked out that video, please, after this one, do so. Also, another thing you guys could do is be the gift that keeps on giving for us, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. It helps support the channel, just like giving us a thumbs up. And if you have the want and the desire, which you should because this channel is awesome, hit that notification bell. It helps notify you when we upload new awesome content. Now with all that being said, on to the top 10 best Christmas horror movies of all time. Alright guys, why don't you grab yourself a hot cocoa, maybe a snack, snuggle up in front of your computer or smartphone or however you're watching this, and buckle in because I'm giving you a top 10 that's gonna blow your friggin' Christmas minds. Frosty. Alright, coming in at number 10, Deadly Games. Anytime you have a Christmas movie where the kid tries to be a freaking badass, 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna like it, especially when the kid's trying to be so badass he's trying to be the little kid version of John Rambo. Pretty cool. Also, he has a mansion that, I'll be honest, has some plot holes in it because it's got a bunch of different booby traps and secret doors and stuff. Look, it's the type of house that would make Dada from the Goonies jealous. And to be quite frank, there is this creepy, like, Seventh Heaven feel. But in this case, with the bad guy being that creepy and the kid being this cool, this is a must-watch movie as far as I'm concerned. Because, one, it checks my list of everything that makes a good holiday movie. It's got to feel like Christmas. It's got to have a fun, loose story and not take itself so serious. And it's got to be able to have the type of pace where it doesn't feel like watching it is the cure for insomnia. And guess what? This movie checks all those and then some. And if you haven't watched it, I don't blame you. This is a hidden gem that's out of France. So, that's my recommendation for number 10. Coming in at number 9, Krampus. Look, you had me sold when Adam Scott was in the movie because I knew it was going to hit that thing that I like seeing in holiday movies about the holiday movie just being fun, being loose, being exciting, and something I could watch with everybody. And trust me, here's the thing about Krampus, and really about the holiday movies in general, is I really don't like horror movies that aren't rated R, but there's always exceptions to the rule, and Krampus is definitely an exception to the rule because it's just a lot of fun. It feels like Christmas, and I highly doubt that if you're watching this channel you haven't seen that movie because it's one of the more popular ones. I could have a hard-on against keeping a popular movie off this list to try and be sophisticated and look like I know what I'm talking about, but for Christ's sakes, look what I'm wearing. I'm in the fun just like you guys.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
So, you want to have fun? Watch Krampus. It makes the list, and there's a reason for that. It's friggin' awesome. Coming in at number 8, The Wolf of Snow Hollow. Look, man, it's a werewolf movie set during Christmas. And it feels like Christmas. It feels fun. It is fun. It's a super fun movie. I'm guessing, and you guys can leave a comment below, this might be the one that you guys haven't seen or heard of the most. But I'm telling you, this movie is just all around good. It's got good story, good acting, it has a good feel, and if you're looking for something a little different during the holidays, and you're looking for just that thing that can keep you kind of like, alright, cool, it's the holidays, I like feeling Christmassy, and I don't need to go to Christmas Vacation and Home Alone and all those movies, well, The Wolf of Snow Hollow. It just may be your movie. Coming in at number 7, P2. Look, Wes Bentley's acting is very, very, very good in this, and it's just kind of cool to have this like throwback to this like old kind of storytelling of guy likes girl, guy doesn't know how to get girl, guy kind of makes an attempt to get girl, can't get girl, so what's the next thing he does? He goes to kill girl. And he decides to do this right after a Christmas, what are they called? Christmas work party? I never get invited to them. Yeah, a Christmas party at work, and then she gets trapped in a parking garage where this psychopath is trying to get her. And on top of that, well, on top of that, nothing. Actually, that's what I had for this movie. Hey, look, if you haven't checked out P2, I'd be surprised, because once again, this is one of those more, I would assume, I'm making the assumption that this is a popular movie as far as not just this category, but I should have ended it after the parking garage thing. I humbly apologize. Woo! Coming in at number 6. Next on the list, A Christmas Horror Story. Now, I'm not one of these geeks that sees William Shatner as like, ooh, William Shatner, fun, fun, fun. Matter of fact, I'm not actually a big William Shatner fan at all. I kind of think the guy sucks. You guys agree or disagree? You can always leave a comment. That's kind of what that's there for. But with all that being said, A Christmas Horror Story is a fun anthology Christmas movie where you have some really cool stories and they all kind of loosely tie together. If you haven't checked out this movie, the main reason you would want to check out this movie is because it's just all around fun. And once again, I don't know if you guys noticed that on this list, the number one thing I feel that's in a holiday movie, especially a horror movie, should be fun and loose and not taking itself so serious, because let's face it, for a holiday horror movie, you have to give a little to get a little. And if you take yourself too serious during the holidays, then your movie is probably going to suck, because when I'm doing this list, I've seen a slew of good horror movies. The ones that made the list. Which is only a quarter of the bad horror movies. There are Christmas horror movies. And the main thing I could see in this is those ones either were really super cheesy, like Santa Jaws, that's super cheesy, or they took themselves just too damn serious. Where the movies on this list, I noticed, the ones I enjoyed the most were the ones that had fun with the story, were the ones that didn't take it so serious and just tried to make a movie that was super entertaining. And trust me guys, A Christmas Horror Story is no exception to that rule. If you guys haven't already, please check it out. Ooh, coming at number 5. These are the ones I always like on the list, because this is one of those ones that people usually would make number 1. I'm talking about 1974, the original Black Christmas. Now, this movie actually really did creep me out, and it was a lot of fun. Like, if you guys watch it, you'll see the characters, from the cop characters to the girls in the home, everybody's having a good time other than, when they die. And other than Billy the Killer. So, actually, Billy the Killer actually is having fun for at least 98% of that movie. Anywho, this movie, the main reason it creeped me out is, I have to say, man, the whole obscene phone call thing, they did it right, man. When I was hearing that voice over the phone, it really did scare me. I really, look, a little confession here. When that was going on, I did kind of notice while I was watching, I was looking over my shoulder a little bit. And for a guy who watches horror movies all the time, And the forget, because I had to recap this one. I watched this one so many years ago that I had to re-watch it just to see. And I forgot how creepy it was. So if you guys want a movie that actually is pretty scary, but still gives you a lot of fun, well, 1974's Black Christmas is the movie for you. Alright, coming in next, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Just kidding. Look, I don't get what the whole hype is behind Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's a B-movie story. It feels like a B-movie. And I'm into B-movies other than when they have this thing to them where it just doesn't look like any attention to detail was spent. And I know a lot of you horror buff aficionados are going to be like, oh, why not Silent Night, Deadly Night? How could you say about it? Look, let's be honest, it's not that good of a movie. The movie sucks, you know? And it's sad because I own the movie and I still say it sucks. The real number 4, the only reason I'm laughing is I wonder about your guys' comments, like how could you say Silent Night, Deadly Night sucks and not this movie? I'm talking about 2006's Black Christmas. Now this remake did a couple things. One, it gave you a backstory to Billy, and 2, it filled that house full of hotties. 1974, I would imagine, had their hotties that was for that decade. But I would imagine 2006's hotties would be hotties in any decade. That movie was chock full of them, and it made the story that much more fun for at least me. And, well, it still was chock full of good scares, and it felt like Christmas. Hence why it made the list, hence why it's a good holiday movie, and, well, it's got hotties. What else could you want in a movie? Some of you might be asking yourself, wait a minute, it's a fun horror movie and it also has hotties? How could that not make number 1? I asked myself the same questions for a long time. 2 weeks. And I'm here to tell you, it's appropriately on this list because these next three, they're a lot of fun. Number 3, Red Christmas. Now, it's not just a color change from black. Red Christmas actually was a pre-original fun movie with content that's not really screaming this is a lot of fun. I'm talking about abortion controversy. But the way this movie tackles it and the way that this movie has fun with the kills, has fun with the characters that are involved in this wacky and wild story, and it's got horror legend Dee Wallace in it, who actually also produced it. Well, you just know that not just because I'm recommending it, can I say the word? Not only because I'm recommending it, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that are gonna recommend this movie if they know anything about Christmas movies. Why didn't I say Christmas horror movies? Well, I really do think this is just a really good Christmas movie. The things I do when I try not to spoil too much for you. I always can go with my faithful, my true, my old go-to. What do I always say to you guys? Cool story, cool character, cool kills equals cool movie. Red Christmas has all those. So, what can I say? Besides that, it does feel like a holiday movie. If you haven't checked out, do so. This is also the second time that I've recommended this movie. If you've seen the prior video of my horror movie recommendations on how to make your holidays that much more fun. And if you haven't checked that out, shame on you. Coming in at number 2. Number 2. Up next on the list, you better watch out. Look, when I first saw this movie, I knew it was just loads of fun. There is nothing about this movie that screamed I wasn't going to have a good time with it. So then because I had such a good time with it, I had to look it up online. I had to be like, man, what does other people think about this? A lot of people had a hard time with it, man. And I have no idea why. I felt like the way that they tackled the subject matter of crazy kid who's in love with his babysitter and then pretty much becomes the maniac. What would happen if Macaulay Culkin from The Good Son was Kevin McAllister instead of Kevin McAllister, who is all crazy because he didn't get his cheese pizza, and then he's happy because his family disappears? Two different kinds of crazy, right? Good Son crazy is the one that is vindictive and scary, and he's looking to do things because he wants a certain something, and I'm not going to spoil what it was, but it's not what you think. That's all I'll say about it. And the kid wants it in the worst way, and, well, shit gets crazy. Shit gets crazy, and you better watch out. So, if you haven't watched it, you better watch out. You better watch it. See what I did there? Now, finally, coming in at number 1. The godfather of them all when it comes to Christmas horror movies and maybe Christmas movies altogether. Gremlins! This is one of those things that it has to be that damn good for me to recommend it as number 1. Not because I feel it's the best list, because it's the best list, but because this movie's another movie that's a horror movie that's not rated R, and it makes it number 1 on a Jack Does Horror Top 10. The movie's gotta be good, and I highly doubt the majority of you haven't seen Gremlins. Look, you got Mogwai, who is a Christmas present for Billy. Billy likes him. Corey Feldman is in it. Corey Feldman accidentally spilled some water on him, and that's where some evil Mogwai come from. Now, anybody who doesn't think this is a horror movie, well, you suck. Because you're thinking of horror as scary and oogie boogie, when really, horror is just a fun genre, and this movie is tons of fun. And it's got that holiday feel, and it's super original, and what do I always say? Cool story, cool characters, cool kills equals cool movie. Now, there's a couple of things that are messed up, like Phoebe Cates' story on how her dad died. Also, what's messed up is, spoiler, which I highly doubt that you guys haven't seen Gremlins, but if you haven't, spoiler, for some reason, they keep torturing this little guy. The water hurts him, and yet they keep putting water on him and all this stuff. Look, we'll go over the 3 rules of a Mogwai. 1, they can't be in bright lights. If they're out in the sun or exposed to the sun, they will die. 2, they don't like water. Don't put water on them, don't drink water. That's why all this bad stuff happened when Feldman spilled the water. Yet they keep on doing things with water to the poor little guy. Bastards. And don't feed a Mogwai after midnight. Which, little Gizmo, that's the main cute one, didn't get fed after midnight. But the other Mogwai did, and that's why they turned into evil little bastards. Now, this holiday classic is gonna be the one that will always be. Even if I redo this list again in the future and stuff, I just do not see how this movie isn't number 1. Always for a holiday movie. It's actually my number 1 holiday movie outside of the horror genre as well. I'm talking Christmas Vacation, I'm talking Die Hard, Home Alone, I'm talking all of them, man. There's even classics, man. Even classics like A Christmas Story and It's a Wonderful Life and all that. Scrooged. Bunch of movies I love. Gremlins is still the best one in my opinion. Hence why it's number 1 on this list. And if you guys agree or disagree, leave a comment below. Because that's how this all kind of works. Also, if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Help support us. You know what else helps support us? Give us a thumbs up. And also, we love making content for you guys. And I'm guessing that if you guys give us a chance, you'll love watching the content. And that's why you hit that notification bell. That's how you get notified when we make new content. With all that being said, that was the top 10 best Christmas horror movies of all time. I'm Jack. This is Jack Does Horror. And here at Jack Does, we wish you guys all a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and please have a safe holidays. That way you can keep watching the videos here. I should have ended it nicer.